Welcome back to our channel, Rare Coins All World, Coin Enthusiasts. Today we have an exciting deep dive into a fascinating coin from the United States that could be sitting right under your nose, hiding in plain sight. If you're a coin collector or just someone who's curious about the world of numismatics, then you're in for a treat. In today's video, we are exploring the 1983 Jefferson nickel, a coin that many people might overlook, but one that could be worth far more than you think. Believe it or not, if you happen to have a 1983 Jefferson nickel in excellent condition, it could be worth as much as $70,000, that's right, you heard me, $70,000. But how can a humble 5-cent piece be worth so much? Well, let's take a deep dive into the history, features, and rarity of this coin to uncover exactly why the 1983 Jefferson nickel has such high value. First, let's start with the history behind this iconic coin. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel, which had been in circulation for nearly 3 decades. Designed by Felix Schlag, the Jefferson nickel features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, on the obverse, or front, of the coin. On the reverse side, you'll find an image of Jefferson's home, Monticello, which is a symbol of his legacy. For over 80 years, the Jefferson nickel has been a mainstay in American currency, with multiple design updates along the way. The 1983 version, which is the focus of today's video, has some unique characteristics that make it particularly appealing to collectors. You might be thinking, it's just another nickel, right? Well, not exactly. Let's take a closer look at why the 1983 Jefferson nickel stands out from the crowd. In terms of design, the 1983 Jefferson nickel is pretty standard, with Jefferson's portrait and the Monticello building on the reverse. However, what makes this coin so special is the mintage and condition in which it was produced. In 1983, the U.S. Mint produced a significant number of Jefferson nickels, but it wasn't until later that collectors began to realize that certain coins from this year were rarer or more desirable than others. You see, while most coins produced by the U.S. Mint are created in large quantities, not all of them are in perfect condition. Many coins that are produced for regular circulation end up getting damaged through everyday use, whether it's being dropped, scratched, or exposed to the elements. Coins that are well worn or damaged are typically worth only their face value, but that's not the case with the 1983 Jefferson nickel. The key to this coin's high value lies in its condition. As is the case with most collectible coins, the better the condition, the higher the value. While most 1983 Jefferson nickels are not particularly rare, the ones that have been preserved in pristine condition are few and far between. Collectors are always on the lookout for coins in mint condition, which means the coin has not been circulated and retains its original features. So, what exactly is considered mint condition for a coin? A coin in mint condition will have sharp, clear details, with no signs of wear, scratching, or discoloration. It will look nearly as good as the day it was minted, as if it just came off the production line. These are the types of coins that collectors seek, and if you have a 1983 Jefferson nickel in mint condition, it could be worth far more than a regular nickel. But there's more to the story. While mint condition plays a huge role in determining a coin's value, the mint mark also plays a significant part in the equation. In 1983, the U.S. Mint produced the Jefferson nickel at several facilities, including the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint. The mint mark, which is typically a small letter near the coin's date, indicates where the coin was struck. In the case of the 1983 Jefferson nickel, there are several variations, and some of these are rarer than others. The Philadelphia Mint produced nickels without a mint mark, while the Denver Mint used the letter D as its mint mark. The San Francisco Mint produced coins with an S mint mark. While the coins from the Philadelphia and Denver Mints were relatively common, those from the San Francisco Mint are the rarest and most desirable for collectors. If you happen to have a 1983 Jefferson nickel with an S mint mark, then you are in possession of a coin that could fetch a higher price on the collector's market. These coins are harder to find, making them particularly valuable to numismatists, but the rarity doesn't stop there. As is often the case with rare coins, errors during the minting process can make certain versions even more valuable. Minting errors are one of the most sought-after characteristics among coin collectors. These mistakes, whether they are double strikes, off-center strikes, or missing details, create one-of-a-kind coins that stand out from the regular issue. For example, one common minting error involves misaligned dies, where the front and back designs of the coin are not perfectly aligned, resulting in an unusual appearance. Another potential error could be a double die, a coin that was struck twice, resulting in doubled lettering or images. These types of errors are highly prized in the coin collecting community, and if you have a 1983 Jefferson nickel with one of these unique minting mistakes, it could be worth exponentially more than a standard coin. So, how much are these rare and well-preserved coins worth? Well, in most cases, a typical 1983 Jefferson nickel in good condition will be worth just a few cents more than its face value. However, when you find one in mint condition, or even better, with a rare mint mark or minting error, the value can skyrocket. In fact, a well-preserved 1983 Jefferson nickel could be worth as much as $70,000. That's right, if your coin has the right combination of features, you could be looking at a windfall of $70,000. Of course, this kind of value isn't common, and you'll need to have a pristine, rare example to get such a high price, but it's certainly possible if you're lucky enough to find one. Before you go rushing to check your pocket change or old coin jars, remember that condition, rarity, and errors are the keys to unlocking a coin's true value. It's important to examine your coin carefully, and if you believe you may have a rare example, it might be worth consulting with a professional numismatist or getting your coin graded by a reputable coin grading service. Grading your coin can help establish its value and ensure that you're getting the highest price possible when you decide to sell or auction it. In summary, the 1983 Jefferson nickel may seem like just another coin at first glance, but with the right features, mint condition, rare mint marks, or minting errors, it could be worth a whopping $70,000. So, next time you find yourself flipping through some old coins, take a closer look at your 1983 Jefferson nickels. You never know what hidden treasure you might have on your hands. Today, we have an exciting topic that's sure to pique your interest. We're diving deep into a coin that's both historically significant and incredibly valuable, the 1974 Jefferson nickel. This seemingly humble 5-cent piece, which many people overlook, could actually be worth far more than you might expect. Stick around to discover why this particular coin has been catching the eyes of collectors, and how it could end up being worth an impressive $74,000. Yes, you heard that right, $74,000. The 1974 Jefferson nickel is a fascinating example of how even the most common coins can have hidden value, depending on their rarity and condition. So let's take a closer look at what makes this coin so special and why it has the potential to fetch such a high price. To understand the significance of the 1974 Jefferson nickel, we first need to explore the background of the Jefferson nickel series itself. Introduced in 1938, the Jefferson nickel replaced the Buffalo nickel and became the official 5-cent coin of the United States. It was designed by Felix Schlag, and the coin featured a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, on the obverse side. On the reverse side, you'll find an image of Jefferson's home, Monticello, which symbolizes his legacy and his contributions to the country. Over the years, the Jefferson nickel has seen several design changes, but the 1974 version remains one of the most popular among collectors. While the design of the 1974 Jefferson nickel may not have changed dramatically from previous years, it was still produced during an era of significant economic and social changes in the U.S. The 1970s were marked by inflation, the end of the Vietnam War, and shifting cultural dynamics. The United States Mint was still producing nickels at a high rate to meet the demands of the economy, but over time, collectors began to notice that certain years, including 1974, produced nickels with unique characteristics that would later make them highly sought after. So, what makes the 1974 Jefferson nickel particularly valuable? The first thing to consider is the mintage of the coin. The U.S. Mint produced large numbers of nickels in 1974, but the condition of the coins varies dramatically. Many of the nickels that entered circulation during this time were subject to wear and tear. Everyday use can damage the surface of a coin, causing it to lose some of its sharpness, clarity, and overall appearance. But the true value lies in those rare, well-preserved examples that have survived in near-mint condition. If you come across a 1974 Jefferson nickel that looks nearly as good as the day it was minted, you might be holding on to something special. Coins that are well-preserved and have not been exposed to the wear of circulation tend to fetch higher prices because they're much rarer. These coins are often referred to as being in mint state or uncirculated condition. In fact, if a 1974 Jefferson nickel is in uncirculated condition, it could be worth much more than its face value of 5 cents, but it's not just about the condition of the coin, it's also about rarity. While the 1974 Jefferson nickel is not as rare as some other coins, there are certain factors that can make a particular coin stand out. For example, the mint mark is an important feature to consider. The mint mark indicates where the coin was struck, and the 1974 Jefferson nickel was minted at several different locations, including the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint. Each of these facilities has a different mint mark, P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. Generally speaking, coins from the Philadelphia Mint don't have a mint mark, but those from Denver and San Francisco carry the D and S marks, respectively. Among these, coins from the San Francisco Mint are typically the rarest. So, if you happen to have a 1974 Jefferson nickel with an S mint mark, that coin could be far more valuable than one from the Philadelphia or Denver mints. This is because the San Francisco Mint produced a smaller number of coins that year, making the S version of the 1974 Jefferson nickel a rarity among collectors. Now, let's get into the heart of the value of this coin. What makes the 1974 Jefferson nickel worth so much money is its condition, rarity, and the possibility of minting errors. If your 1974 Jefferson nickel has been struck with a minting error, such as a double die, misaligned die, or any other kind of error, then it could skyrocket in value. Minting errors are highly prized by collectors because they make the coin unique. A coin that's been struck twice by mistake, resulting in a double image, is particularly valuable. Similarly, any kind of misalignment during the minting process can make a coin more rare and highly sought after. If you happen to have a 1974 Jefferson nickel with an error like this, it's a game changer. Minting errors are a major reason why certain coins can fetch hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars on the market. These error coins are considered to be special and are typically sold at a premium compared to regular, error-free coins. So, you may be wondering, how much could your 1974 Jefferson nickel be worth if it has the right characteristics? While most 1974 Jefferson nickels are still worth just a few cents, those that are in mint condition, have a rare mint mark, or feature minting errors can fetch considerably higher prices. In fact, a 1974 Jefferson nickel in pristine, uncirculated condition could be worth an astonishing $74,000. That's right, if you've got a rare, well-preserved 1974 Jefferson nickel with the right combination of characteristics, you could be holding on to a coin worth an incredible $74,000. Of course, the value of your coin will depend on its condition, rarity, and whether it has any unique features, but for the right coin, the rewards can be huge. Before you go running to check your change jar or coin collection, remember that getting your coin professionally graded can help determine its true value. Grading companies will evaluate the coin's condition and assign it a grade, which can then be used to establish its worth on the market. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin will be. If you think you have a rare 1974 Jefferson nickel, having it graded can give you a better idea of how much it might be worth and whether it's time to sell or keep it in your collection. In conclusion, the 1974 Jefferson nickel is a coin that may seem ordinary at first glance, but when you look closely at its condition, rarity, and any potential minting errors, it becomes clear why this coin is so highly valued by collectors. Whether it's a well-preserved example, a rare mint mark, or a minting error, the 1974 Jefferson nickel could be worth a small fortune, up to $74,000 in some cases. Today's video is going to be one that truly excites you. We're diving into a fascinating and somewhat overlooked coin, the United States 5-cent Jefferson nickel from 1987. While most people might consider this a standard piece of currency, there's more to this particular coin than meets the eye. In fact, this seemingly common nickel could be worth a lot more than its face value, depending on its condition and rarity. Stick with us until the end, because we're about to reveal just how much a 1987 Jefferson nickel could be worth today, an astonishing $82,000. Let's begin by taking a closer look at the history of the Jefferson nickel series. Introduced in 1938, the Jefferson nickel has been the 5-cent coin of the United States for decades. This coin replaced the Buffalo nickel and featured Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, on the obverse, front, side. His image was taken from a portrait by artist Rembrandt Peale. On the reverse side, we see an image of Jefferson's home, Monticello, which serves as a lasting tribute to the life and legacy of one of the founding fathers of the United States. Over the years, the Jefferson nickel has undergone a few changes, but the coin minted in 1987 was produced during a time when the U.S. economy was experiencing a period of relative stability after the tumultuous 1980s. The production of these coins was high, as the mint worked to meet the growing demand for currency. But as we all know, just because a coin is widely produced doesn't mean that it's of little value. In fact, the 1987 Jefferson nickel is a prime example of how certain coins can become highly valuable and sought after by collectors over time. So, what makes the 1987 Jefferson nickel stand out in the world of coin collecting? Well, the first factor to consider is the mint mark. Coins are produced at different U.S. mint facilities, and each facility places a mint mark on the coin to indicate where it was made. The Jefferson nickel was produced at both the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint in 1987, so when you look closely at your coin, you'll see either no mint mark, Philadelphia, or a D mint mark, Denver. Now, you might be wondering, does the mint mark make a big difference in the value of the coin? Well, it absolutely can. While both the D Mint and Philadelphia Mint marks are relatively common, the condition of the coin and whether it has been kept in pristine condition is what truly affects the value. If you happen to have a 1987 Jefferson nickel with the rare minting features in excellent condition, you could be in for a windfall. In addition to the mint mark, another important factor in determining the value of the 1987 Jefferson nickel is its condition. When a coin is produced, it goes through a process that can wear it down as it circulates through the economy. Most of the Jefferson nickels minted in 1987 were used for daily transactions, which means that they often show signs of wear and damage. Coins that are heavily worn, scratched, or tarnished are typically worth just a few cents, far below their potential value. However, if you have a 1987 Jefferson nickel that has been kept in mint condition, meaning it has never been used or has very little wear, its value can increase dramatically. A coin in excellent or uncirculated condition is much rarer, especially when it comes to modern coins that have spent years circulating. Uncirculated coins are those that were stored properly and never used for everyday transactions, and these are the kinds of coins that collectors will eagerly search for. But let's not stop there. The rarity of the 1987 Jefferson nickel can be a key factor in determining its value as well. In general, coins with fewer mintage numbers are more valuable. However, with a high mintage in 1987, the true rarity comes down to the individual characteristics of the coin. One of the key features to look for is the possibility of minting errors. When a coin is struck, sometimes the minting process doesn't go perfectly, leading to errors that can drastically increase the value of the coin. Errors could include things like double dies, where the coin is struck twice and the design appears blurry or doubled. Other types of errors could involve misaligned dies or off-center strikes, where the coin design is incorrectly placed. For example, if you discover a 1987 Jefferson nickel with a double die error, it can be a game changer in terms of value. These kinds of errors are highly coveted by collectors because they make the coin unique. While the majority of 1987 nickels will look relatively standard, an error coin is considered much rarer and, therefore, far more valuable. A minting error could potentially increase the value of your 1987 Jefferson nickel from a few cents to thousands of dollars or more. The next thing to consider is the collectability factor. Certain years and mintages of the Jefferson Nickels series have captured the attention of collectors, particularly those who specialize in U.S. coins. As a result, certain nickels from the 1980s have become more valuable than others. While 1987 wasn't an exceptionally rare year for the nickel, it is still part of a historical era in which coins like these have gained in importance as collectibles. People who collect Jefferson nickels as part of a complete series or as part of their broader coin collection are always on the lookout for well-preserved examples from years like 1987.so. Now that we've explored the history, rarity, and value factors of the 1987 Jefferson nickel, you're probably wondering, just how much can this coin really be worth? The answer to that question depends heavily on the condition of your coin, whether it has a minting error, and which mint mark it carries. If your coin is in mint state and free from damage or signs of circulation, it could be worth much more than its face value of 5 cents. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, if you happen to have a perfectly preserved 1987 Jefferson nickel, or even one with a minting error, the value could reach an extraordinary $82,000. Yes, that's $82,000 for a single 5-cent coin. When you think about how a coin that's been sitting in your pocket or change jar could hold such incredible value, it really makes you look at your pocket change in a whole new light. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who stumbled upon this video, it's clear that the 1987 Jefferson nickel is far more than just a simple 5-cent coin. With its historical significance, potential minting errors, and the possibility of finding a perfectly preserved piece, it could turn out to be a hidden treasure worth a small fortune. So, next time you're sorting through your coins, take a closer look at your 1987 Jefferson nickels. You just might have a rare find on your hands. Today's video is one you definitely don't want to miss. We're diving deep into the fascinating world of the United States 5-cent Jefferson nickel, specifically the 1964 edition with its unique mint mark. You may have seen these coins in your pocket change before, but you'll be amazed by just how much they could be worth under the right conditions. Stick around until the end, because you'll be shocked to discover the true value of a 1964 Jefferson nickel, and trust us, it's a number that could leave you speechless. Are you ready to find out? Well, let's get started. Let's kick things off with a little history about the Jefferson nickel. First introduced in 1938, this iconic coin replaced the Buffalo nickel, and it featured the image of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, on the obverse, the front. Jefferson was chosen because of his role in the founding of the country, his pivotal work on the Declaration of Independence, and his leadership in the expansion of the U.S. territory through the Louisiana Purchase. On the reverse side of the coin, we see an image of Jefferson's beloved home, Monticello, symbolizing his legacy in connection to the American landscape. Now, the 1964 Jefferson nickel holds a special place in this coin's long history. This year was not only a time of great social and political change in the United States, but it also marked the final year before the U.S. Mint switched over to a new design for the coin in 1965. The year 1964 was significant for collectors because it marked the end of an era for the Jefferson nickel series, as it had been minted the same way since 1938. In fact, the coins minted in 1964 were the last of the older, more traditional designs before they underwent modifications. This alone makes the 1964 Jefferson nickel an important piece of American numismatic history. So, what makes the 1964 Jefferson nickel stand out in the world of coin collecting? The key factor here is rarity. While millions of these nickels were struck and circulated in 1964, there are certain characteristics that can make specific examples worth far more than their face value. One of the primary things to keep an eye on when assessing the value of a 1964 Jefferson nickel is the mint mark. The mint mark tells us where the coin was produced: D for the Denver Mint, P for the Philadelphia Mint, and S for the San Francisco Mint. The mint mark isn't just a small detail on the coin, it can have a huge impact on its value, as some mint marks are rarer than others. The 1964 nickel was produced at all three of these mints, and the most common version you'll find is the one with the D mint mark from the Denver Mint. However, some variations of the 1964 Jefferson nickel, especially those minted in Philadelphia or San Francisco, are much rarer and can be worth more to collectors. If you have a coin with an S mint mark, for example, you might have something special on your hands. While the Denver minted coins are not considered rare by themselves, the condition of the coin can make a huge difference in how much collectors are willing to pay for it. Now, let's take a closer look at condition. Coin collectors use a grading scale to determine the quality and overall condition of a coin. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin is. The grading scale typically ranges from good, G, all the way up to mint state, MS, with several intermediate levels in between. A 1964 Jefferson nickel that is in pristine, uncirculated condition can fetch a much higher price than one that has been in circulation for years and shows significant wear. The wear and tear of a coin from being in wallets, pocket change, or even just general circulation can significantly reduce its value. Coins that are well preserved and free from scratches, discoloration, or any signs of heavy wear are often much more sought after by collectors, but we're not stopping there. Another element that can dramatically affect the value of your 1964 Jefferson nickel is the possibility of mint errors. Mint errors happen during the production process, and they can make an otherwise ordinary coin much more valuable. Some of the most common mint errors include double dies, where the coin is struck more than once, creating a blurred or doubled image. These coins can be very valuable because they are so unique. There are also other types of errors, such as off-center strikes, where the coin's design isn't aligned properly, or planchet errors, where the coin was struck on a metal disc that wasn't properly prepared. One of the most famous errors that can occur with Jefferson nickels is known as the 1964 D/D variety. This rare error involves a doubled mint mark, where the D from the Denver Mint was struck twice, making it appear as if there are two mint marks on the coin. Coins like this are especially desirable because they are so unusual and cannot be found easily. If you happen to have one of these rare error coins, it could significantly increase the coin's value and make it a highly prized item for collectors. Now that we've discussed the rarity, mint marks, condition, and potential mint errors, let's get to the big question. How much is a 1964 Jefferson nickel worth? Well, the value of a typical 1964 Jefferson nickel in average condition might not be much more than its 5-cent face value. However, if you have a mint state, error coin, or one in perfect condition, it could be worth significantly more. As we've mentioned, the presence of certain mint marks or error varieties can cause the price to skyrocket. And now for the exciting reveal. If you happen to have a well-preserved 1964 Jefferson nickel, especially one with a minting error or from a rarer mint, your coin could be worth an incredible $74,000. That's right, $74,000 for a single nickel. It's truly remarkable to think that something as simple as a 5-cent coin could be worth so much. But this is exactly why collectors keep an eye out for coins like the 1964 Jefferson nickel. The potential for discovering a rare or valuable coin is one of the thrills of collecting. So, the next time you're going through your pocket change or sifting through your coin collection, make sure to take a second look at those 1964 Jefferson nickels. With the right condition, mint mark, or error, you might just be sitting on a gold mine. Today, we have something truly exciting to talk about. If you're a fan of rare coins or you've ever wondered whether an ordinary nickel could actually be worth a small fortune, then you're in for a real treat. We're going to dive deep into one of the most interesting and valuable coins from the United States Mint, the 1978 Jefferson nickel. The Jefferson nickel is one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history. Its design, which has been in circulation since 1938, features the profile of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, on the obverse. This image is not just a tribute to Jefferson's legacy as one of the founding fathers, but also a symbol of the country's growth and independence. On the reverse side of the coin, we see Monticello, Jefferson's beloved home in Virginia, which represents his connection to the American landscape and his architectural achievements. But the 1978 Jefferson nickel holds a special place in numismatic history, and today we're going to reveal why. First, let's talk about the significance of the 1978 minting year. By 1978, the United States had seen significant changes in both the political and economic landscape. President Jimmy Carter was in office, and the country was still feeling the effects of the 1970s oil crisis, which brought about inflation and economic turbulence. But what does this have to do with the Jefferson nickel, you ask? Well, the 1978 issue is part of the ongoing production of these coins during an era of change, which makes any coin from this time period historically interesting. So, what makes the 1978 Jefferson nickel unique and valuable? While many of these nickels were minted and circulated widely, there are key factors that can make some of them significantly more valuable than others. The first thing to consider when assessing the worth of a 1978 Jefferson nickel is the condition of the coin. The key to understanding the true value of any coin is its state of preservation, and with the 1978 nickel, condition plays a huge role. Coins that are in uncirculated condition, meaning they have never been used in transactions and show no signs of wear, are considered the most valuable. The more pristine the coin, the higher the value. In fact, a 1978 Jefferson nickel in mint state, which means it has been preserved in near-perfect condition, can fetch far more than the typical 5-cent price tag. The first thing that collectors look for in these coins is whether they are free from scratches, dents, or discoloration. A coin that has been carefully stored in a safe place, away from everyday handling, is often much more desirable on the market. Another factor that adds to the value of the 1978 Jefferson nickel is its mint mark. As you might already know, the U.S. Mint produces coins at several different locations, and each mint location marks its coins with a distinct mint mark. For the 1978 Jefferson nickel, you'll find mint marks like D for the Denver Mint, P for the Philadelphia Mint, and S for the San Francisco Mint. While the 1978 coins from Denver and Philadelphia are relatively common, the San Francisco minted examples are rarer, and as such, they can be worth more to collectors. The mint mark is important because it helps us understand the rarity and production run of a particular coin, and it can make a huge difference when determining its value. But here's where it gets even more interesting: mint errors. Mint errors are one of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting, and they can dramatically increase the value of a coin. A mint error occurs when something goes wrong during the production process, creating a coin with a design flaw. These errors are extremely rare, and collectors love them because they are unique. For example, with the 1978 Jefferson nickel, some coins were struck with double dies, causing certain parts of the design to appear doubled or blurred. Others may have off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned. These types of errors are extremely valuable, and if you happen to find a 1978 nickel with one of these minting flaws, you could be holding on to a much more valuable coin than you thought. When collectors come across a mint error coin like this, they often pay top dollar for it. Why? Because these errors are incredibly rare, and the fact that they were made by mistake only adds to their allure. Imagine finding a coin that wasn't meant to look like that, a piece of American history that's one of a kind. That's what makes mint error coins so special, and that's why collectors are always on the lookout for them. Now, let's get to the important part: how much could your 1978 Jefferson nickel be worth? As we've mentioned, the value of a coin can vary depending on several factors, including its condition, mint mark, and whether it has any mint errors. But here's the really exciting part: if you've got a 1978 Jefferson nickel in pristine, uncirculated condition, or perhaps even one with a rare minting error, you could be looking at a coin worth $78,000. Yes, you heard that right, $78,000. It's truly incredible how a coin that was once considered just another 5-cent piece could turn into such a valuable collector's item. The beauty of coin collecting is that something as simple as a nickel could hold a fortune, and the 1978 Jefferson nickel is the perfect example of this. So, next time you're going through your pocket change or rummaging through your old coin collection, don't forget to take a close look at your 1978 Jefferson nickels. With the right condition, mint mark, or even a rare minting error, you might be holding a coin worth thousands, if not tens of thousands, of dollars. That's the magic of coin collecting. Thank you for joining us in today's exploration of the 1978 Jefferson nickel. We hope this video has sparked your interest in coin collecting and has given you some valuable insights into how much the 1978 Jefferson nickel could be worth. As always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more exciting discoveries in the world of rare and valuable coins. Who knows, the next treasure might be sitting right under your nose. Happy collecting, and we'll see you in the next video.